The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is coming up by the end of this week, and of course it is the biggest sale of the year when it comes to Star Citizen ships and vehicles, and there is no doubt that a lot of you guys will open your wallets to make some new acquisitions. But of course, maybe you are looking forward to knowing which ships or vehicles are going to come next into your hands, at least in the near future, and that is what this video is all about. In today's video, we are going to check out some of the ships and vehicles that Cloud Imperium Games are working on and that we should expect to see released within the next 12 months. And so we are going to get started right now with the Argo SRV. Now, this is a ship that was not on my radar for quite some time, but oh boy, now it is. Because we've recently been introduced to the concept of soft death, which is basically in the combat situation, if your ship is destroyed, there are chances that it will not blow up. Instead, it will remain disabled. It will be a useless husk. You will still survive inside, although NPCs will not, and so other people will be able to board your ship and maybe kill you and take whatever is inside. But that means that it would be also possible to perhaps transport that husk to somewhere safe, where it could eventually be repaired. And this is where I believe the Argo SRV will play a role, because for sure, if you have a caterpillar full of Laranite or Quantanium, you will not want your ship to be at the disposal of anyone out there willing to take whatever is yours. So you may want to hire somebody who's got an SRV to take your ship to safety so that it could be repaired eventually, if that's a possibility, right? So that's where I would see the usefulness of the SRV, and that's why I believe that it's probably a must for at least any org that is trade oriented, so that they can save their own ships if for some reason they end up in soft destruction mode. Now, coming up next, still for traders here, is the Banu Merchantman. Now, the SRV is scheduled to be complete by the beginning of February, at least according to the progress tracker. So I would totally imagine the SRV to come along with Star Citizen Alpha 4.0, for example. But the Banu Merchantman is at least on the roadmap scheduled to be finished throughout the middle of June. Now, the roadmap doesn't go beyond the middle of June, so it's possible it will extend further down the line, and that's what I see it's probably going to be happening. I imagine the Banu Merchantman to be the centerpiece of next year's either CitizenCon or next year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, because there's always this flagship that they want to display that they are very proud of, and that of course players have been anticipating for quite some time. You guys know, probably remember the Karak, and then this year we got the Corsair. I totally think that next year it's going to be the Merchantman for the Great Gibboning, if you see what I mean, right? So the Merchantman, of course, is this huge Banu ship that can carry almost 3,000 standard units of cargo. SCUs are standard cargo units, and it's one of those ships that a lot of people have been expecting for a very long time. The concept came out in 2013, so by the time it will be released, it will have been 10 years since the ship was officially unveiled. It's a very long time. It's not great publicity, but hey, you know, better late than never, right? So I would suggest that you guys be on the lookout for the Banu Merchantman. I don't think it will get a price increase this year, but as always, when a ship is eventually released, the price does increase. So this might be the very last chance to get a Banu Merchantman at a discounted price before it gets its final price next year when it gets released. Next, it's the Crusader Spirit. It was recently revealed that the Crusader Spirit is indeed in active development. Originally, it was not revealed at all, but then the developers did admit that they made a mistake and they forgot to put it on the roadmap. Here, work looks like it's going to be finished by the middle of June, but again, that's where the roadmap finishes here. This is a ship that they seem to be wanting to push. They've been talking about making, for example, putting into the game passenger transport mission. We saw them in last year's CitizenCon. We haven't had much news about it, unfortunately. The only news that we had was that it was taken off the roadmap, but it's still some gameplay that the developers are working on and that they want to be putting into the game. And we need that, especially that E1 variant into the game for smaller scale passenger transport, because right now when it comes to passenger transport, we got 890 jumps, we've got also 600 eyes and Constellation Phoenixes. These might be a little bit overkill for small amounts of passengers, so that's why the Crusader Spirit E1 is the perfect ship for that. And the other two variants, the C1 is a good competitor for the Cutlass, and the A1 is a smaller version of the A2. Next, we have the Hull C. Now, the Hull C has been in development for ages. They've had issues with the physicalized cargo grids. It seems that this is no longer an issue right now. Seems like the Hull C is also being worked on for Squadron 42 as well. Now, we don't have any ideas of why, of course, because of all the secrecy that surrounds Squadron 42. Nevertheless, it looks like work is scheduled to be finished by the month of December, so we could be seeing perhaps a Hull C release for Star Citizen of 3.19, if there is such a thing, or 4.0. But I really believe that the end of the tunnel is near for the Hull C. The price for the Hull C is actually not that expensive as of now. It's $350, originally $200, but I do imagine it will be more expensive because of the huge amount of cargo that it has, with a cargo capacity of 4,600 SCU. It is huge, and it's really going to be a game changer. I think that the reasons why we're not seeing it right now, they're taking their time, is simply because the game's economy cannot handle that much amount of cargo. It would just crash the economy as of right now, and we were confirmed that the cargo refactor is not going to bring any changes to the economy, so we're still going to have the arbitrary prices and also the artificial supply and demand that gets depleted very quickly because everything is shared between servers. So even, let's say, for example, somebody is trading some low tier commodities with a Hull C like aluminum or quartz, well, they're still going to be running out of commodities. They will never be able to fill in their ships. Plus, at the same time, the Hull C cannot land anywhere on the ground surface, on the planet surface, so they would have to go from station to station, and you can't buy and sell anything at the station, or at least not in large quantities as well. So that's why it doesn't make any sense to have the Hull C in the game unless they do make a complete overhaul of the game's economy, which I hope is going to be coming sooner than later, thanks to the so-called cargo refactor that's coming up with Star Citizen Alpha 3.18. Next, we've got the RSI Lynx. Now, the Lynx is a rover that was supposed to be coming up with the Constellation Phoenix, and it's never been coming here. It is supposed to be a luxury version of the Ursa, but we don't really have any news, no picture about the Lynx, unfortunately. So it's gonna be a surprise when it'll come. Who knows? Maybe we'll know about it at this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, because work looks like it's going to be finished by the end of February, so coming up soon, maybe a release for 3.19. So it would be great for CIG to give us some extra information out there. Next, we've got the Aopoa Santokyai, which is the medium/heavy fighter from the Xi'an, of course. And this is a ship that's really looking fantastic. If you've flown, for example, the Kratual from the Xi'an, then you know how awesome those ships sound and fly. Now, the problem with those Xi'an ships is that they're quite big, so pretty easy to hit, but at the same time, very cool to fly as well, and quite maneuverable too. And it's wonderful to see that this ship is on production and looks like it's going to be coming by the end of June here, but not necessarily. It doesn't seem like it's extending through July as well. So perhaps we're going to be seeing it at the Invictus Fleet Week, which is strange because usually it's not for alien ships. But anyway, it looks like that's what's going to be up here, and we've got a price for the Santokai of $220. Originally it was $195, so it did not increase that much. Again, this might be the very last chance to get it at this price. I would totally imagine this ship to go up to 250 all the way to $300 $100. And I think that we've got another one here, and this is the Origin X1. So the Origin X1 is a ground vehicle. It was it's actually perfectly made for the 400i, because the 400i's got the vehicle bay that can fit one of those X1. It's basically the space bag version of Origin JumpWorks. It's gonna be great for racing or just going for point A to point B, and that's basically it. It seems like work is going to be lasting for a very short period of time. They're probably going to be using the NOx as a reference. Probably they're going to be using the same technology, and they're just make a model that looks like the X1, and that's gonna be it here. A very cheap ground vehicle, originally at $35. You can buy it for $40, and that's basically it. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, which ground vehicle or which vehicle in general are you going to get? Do you plan to make any purchases during this year's sale, or is your wallet closed? Well, let me know in the comment section down below, and which one of those vehicles that we talked about are you looking forward to the most? As I said, I wasn't high on the SRV, but now that the concept of soft death has been revealed, I'm very interested in seeing what role the SRV is going to have. Anyway, guys, that is all for today's video. And as always, I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreons and my YouTube channel members who really help this channel a lot, including Dr. Fobin, Captain Snake, Zero Crusher, and Wolfpack Pug. And if you want to be supporting the channel, well, the link is in the description down below. It's going to give you automatic access also to a giveaway that I have. I'm giving away an Crusader C1 with the LTI. You can also join our Discord channel, and over there you just need to join our video sharing contest, and that can get you a chance to win. Also, if you answer the question that I asked today, we have another Crusader E1 that we are giving away here on YouTube. So all you have to do is to subscribe to the channel and answer the question that I asked a little bit before. Anyway, guys, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It's been the Eradicator. I will see you guys later.